Hello, this is Ariella Carmel, and I'm at Calcalist's 2024 Forecasts event. I'm joined by Ilan Tevet, CMO and co-founder of Iron Nation. Thank you for joining me, Ilan.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
So can you start off by telling me a little bit about Iron Nation?
Sure. So Iron Nation is a VC that was established right after the beginning of the war. 3 days after the war, we realized that startup companies, specifically the early stage ones, will have significant challenges, and we decided to establish a fund that will help them.
Amazing. Can you talk a bit more about what your areas of focus have been in terms of your activities during this period?
Sure. So we realized that the biggest challenge that startup companies will face is a financial one. We have to remember the general context. You know, the previous year before the war was not very easy in terms of the ability to raise funds. It was a global thing, not specifically to Israel, but in Israel it took us more time to go back to normal because of our internal political issues. And then the war started. And as a result, many of the investors kind of took a step back. And some startup companies even told us that they had safe documents or MOU signed, and the investors kind of backed away. And this posed significant financial challenges for them because they're about to run out of runway, basically.
And were you noticing that lack of investment or retreat from investors prior to the start of the war, or it's been more enhanced since the war began?
So as I said, it was a global thing. You know, 2022, and actually from the middle of 2022, we started to see a global trend of reduction of investments. But in the beginning of 2023, globally speaking, things gradually went back to normal. It was not so much so in case of Israel because of our internal issues before the war. So this is the background, and then the war started, and all the investors that did plan to invest in promising Israeli startups took a step back. And this is a big challenge for these early stage companies.
And can you talk a little bit more about why you chose to focus on early stage startups in particular and the kind of unique challenges that they face?
Yeah. So, you know, in an early stage startup, typically you don't have revenues yet. So you depend maybe 100% on the investments to run your operations, to finance your R&D activities, to go to market, etc. And this made these kind of companies very sensitive to reduction of investments.
Now, can you speak to other aspects of the tech sector that have been impacted by the war and the current period?
Yeah, it's not just about financing. It's also about the fact that a large part of the founders and key members of these startup companies are actually still in Army Reserve. The statistics is between 15 to 25% of these small companies. Because they are small, every missing person is very significant in their ability to execute and fulfill. And this is another way that Iron Nation can help by providing mentorship and stepping in to help these companies and make sure that the money that is invested in them can be maximized and help them pass this challenging period.
And can you speak to roughly how much funds you've raised at this point?
Yeah. So our target is to raise $20 million. So far, we are closing to midway of that, which is amazing. I mean, from ideation, something like 2 months have only passed. We are totally new in this. We are not alone. We are a group of volunteers, and there are many other circles of volunteers that are supporting us. For example, our IC is consisted of leading members of the top Israeli VCs like Chemi Peres from Pitango, Danny Cohen from Viola, and many others. So it's amazing the amount of things that we're being able to do within 2 months, but still there is a lot to be done because I can tell you that more than 600 Israeli startups have applied to receive investments, and we aim to invest in maybe 3 or 5% of the top ones.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll close the conversation. So thank you so much for joining me, and best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.